15-speed Road Ranger with a 3406B cat. This thing's still idling good, so that's a good sign. Got the truck stuff too, 3rd gen, 6-speed NV56. That's good for the budget, the gas budget. 12 valve with the G56 6-speed. There's not much more room left. These aren't gonna make the photo. Very similar turbo setups. This is on Power FC, that's on Haltech. Okay, so today I'm gonna move a bunch of cars around and get the Type R down. So hasn't been on the road in a couple years, so I'd like to start driving this thing this season. Hi Trudy. And probably do fluids. I know it's gonna need a battery, maybe some air in the tires. But I remember it did need some brakes. Last time I parked it, they were getting a little shaky, so I think I got to get some regular GSR rotors and re-drill them to 4x114. But yeah, I think I'm going to move my black FD back here onto the lift, so then I can just park this thing in the front garage, and then hopefully that'll motivate me to hop in and drive it more often. So I'm gonna start getting this thing prepped up. I'm sick of just driving around the trucks all the time. These babies fired up. A little chilly this morning. All right, Trudy, you're not gonna like this. You're not gonna like this. Oh, you want a treat? You want the treats? Okay, okay. Yeah, I'll get you some. Hold on. Oh, wow. There you go. She'll be back in about 10 minutes acting like she hasn't had treats in a week. Best part about a lift is getting the cars on and off of them. Not too bad, not too dirty. Hoping I left those brake rotors in here somewhere, but gonna have to go to the basement and start looking for those unless they're in the back. Oh, sweet. What's that? Sick. Sweet. So I think these are either Prelude brakes that you can slightly shim the offset to work on the Type R, or they're 4x100 GSR, and then I gotta re-drill. That looks like 114 though. Sick, sick. Schaefer's back here. Oh, sweet. Got the pads. We're in business. Looks like I know what I'm doing tomorrow, probably. But yeah. Feel bad for neglecting this thing. Alright, let's see if this battery has any life in it. I'm pretty sure it's probably been, I think it was kind of dead when I parked this thing, so I'm sure it's smoked. Alright, if I had to guess, this battery will not come back to life, but at least give it a shot. Check. Looks good. Go figure, I put Schaefer's in this probably 2-3 months before I parked it. It's brand new still, but definitely ought to change it. Fluid looks good. Fluid's all pretty good. So, if anyone has any white Type R mirrors, these ARPs are smoked. They flopping around. I think one of them's missing glass too. So I wouldn't mind throwing some stocks back on here. I don't even know where to look and try and find a reasonable deal. God, I love this thing. Alright, while the Type R charges up, I'll go get the FD out of the garage. Shit, I gotta move a bunch of stuff first. This thing needs fuel filter. It's on E85 plus premix, so I always have issues with clogging the filters. For me, letting it sit too long, it's my own fault. Anyways, I got a nice big Holly filter I'm gonna throw on, and that should help prevent it getting clogged every time I drive it. Just a lot more filter surface area. So hopefully I can get that up on the lift in the shop, and then eventually drop it down and knock that setup. I'm gonna probably do all new fuel lines on it too, and send the injectors off to get tested and clean, because yeah, E85, it's good stuff. Also, wife's car is for sale if anybody's interested. $3,500. This thing will start every day, no matter how cold out it is. Choke, 2 pumps. Let's make it 2 pumps, 3 pumps. There we go. But yeah, this thing runs like a top. We don't have time for it, so kind of need to let it go. It's been the daily driver for both of us, kind of off and on for a while, but this year it's been sitting for the most part so far. I'm gonna have to fire up the RX-8 as well, because I need to put that over there, Then I can back the Type R in right here and then pop out this side. Since I gotta park them so close in here, you can't really open the doors if you're over there in the corner. Hopefully this thing's not dead too. Oh crap. Where's the keys? There we go. If I was smart, disconnected the battery. And I did, cool. So this thing's a kind of a mess of wiring. I bought this car like this and I have not had time to go through it. It definitely needs the fuel pump rewired. After a little while of driving, it gets really loud. I think they use too small of a gauge or something. Also, the wiring to the starter must be no good. I put the high torque starter in and it still spins pretty slow, even with the that's a brand new battery I put in there last fall. So it definitely needs some stuff gone through. I've taken it on like a couple 100-mile road trip, but probably not the smartest move until I get that stuff sorted out. Another thing on the to-do list. Let this thing run for a while. Probably should sell this. I never ride it. CBR 600. It's an 89, so the first year of the CBR, or first generation of the CBR. Hurricane. It's pretty sick. It runs really good. Yeah, don't know how much to sell that for. Try to figure out what's going on with this thing. I don't know why it keeps stalling. idling fine now. Probably ought to clean this up a little bit. What a mess. Everything needs work done. Find time eventually. This bad boy. Poor thing just sits. Just sits. Drifted it once at Street League, Volume 2. It's not really a drift car, but it did really well. Besides not having a big enough oil cooler, it got a little hot. But other than that, cut knuckles and shim T2 diff, and this thing ripped really well. All right, this thing's been on a tender, so hopefully it's got enough juice to fire up. You know what? I lied. I got the Dutchworks spin-on setup, which is sick. Kind of like how the diesel trucks are. The big spin-on style fuel filter. So it's got this nice billet housing. Got to mount that somewhere. Sweet. That's definitely, hopefully I get that done sooner than later. This is going to be pissed, I bet. That new fuel filter setup. It'd be cool to mount it somehow right here, but I think getting fuel lines up in here will be pretty tough. Not too sure yet on that. Never enough room. Not bad for the first start of the season. That E85 though, it'll burn your eyes if you leave it sitting in here too long. Yeah, mix it with Klotz Super Technoplate premix, and it is brutal. Alright. If only I'd cover up all my other cars, then they'd look pretty good when I got them out. This thing doesn't even need washed. How many gallons of fuel are we burning every freaking minute with these things? Alright, well, I'm gonna let these run a little bit and see if the Type R will fire up. Let's see if this thing will fire up now. Alright, that's a good sign. Might have an issue with the ignition switch. Kind of had that feeling last time I was driving it. I thought it was a battery problem, but yeah, I think the ignition actually might have some bad contacts in it. Hopefully it just used normal Honda stuff and I don't need any special Type R parts for it. Cool. This is exciting. Alright, turn that down. Get back to all this rotary stuff out front. Get that RX-8 moved around. If anybody wants, I think I'm gonna sell that 8.6 in the first gen race car. It's kind of a beater, but it's a GTS. It gets the job done. This thing's an old race car, fires right up. I don't think there's a battery in it. It looks really bad, but a little refresh and that thing would be track ready. I think like $4 grand for that. First gen, and then the 8.6 maybe like, I don't know, 10 on some of my other roto wheels or something. Cool. Looks like the RX-8's still running. This thing's about 400 horse, so is that. Very similar turbo setups. This is on Power FC, that's on Haltech. But runs pretty good. Just need to fix some mechanical stuff. Wiring, really. One thing that sucks, it's got that fuel cell in the trunk, which kind of bums me out. This thing's kind of a pain in the ass. Alright, so I decided to move all this stuff around today because they said it's not supposed to rain. And it's starting to very much look like it's gonna rain. So I might have to cut this one short and get everything moved around just to save me the hassle. I can't wait to get this thing back on the road and all the maintenance up to date. This thing's so fun. This is like the coolest car in the world, if you ask me. I love it. That one's okay. This one's pretty cool. This one might be like the second coolest. It's like a car show out here today. I never have time to enjoy these things, so I get stoked when I actually see the sunlight. Sunlight, whatever. If anyone has a spare 3.4 M96 for .1996, let me know. That one still runs fine. I just want to get a motor, a spare, and build one. Like I have time for that. Alright, I'm probably gonna wrap this one up. Definitely looks more and more like it's gonna rain, so gonna do some maneuvering of some cars, and then maybe get some fluids to change for the Type R. This thing's still idling good, so that's a good sign. Staying cool, hopefully. What do we got? 83C. That's fine. Good car, just needs some work. Alright, figured I'd keep going. Got the truck stuff too, 3rd gen, 6-speed NV56, 64 mil turbo, 5-inch straight, 19.5s, exhaust brake. That's pretty much it. Got the race toter. 15-speed Road Ranger with a 3406B Cat, all mechanical. Bad Mamma Jamma in there. Got the 12 valve with the G56 6-speed. That's right, G56. Got the 22.5s in the back, 19.5s up front. Has a Super B turbo and also a BD exhaust brake, just like the 3rd gen. Has a cam in it and what is it, 4-inch exhaust after the exhaust brake. Both are axle dumped. Not a huge fan of that, but that's where I'm at right now. I'll try to make some more vids of these things. Gradually working on this. RV in the middle, and then garage in the back to fit one car. I already put a new turbo on this, a billet. What is it, S410 SX is what it's called. Makes a lot more cool noises than the stock one. This one screams too, but all of these scream in like different ways. But yeah, I'll try to make more videos on the trucks. But today, since I'm moving all these around, I figured I'd get some good ones. These aren't gonna make the photo. If I toss some wheels on this, or wheels with tires, I could. That one's not a runner yet. So this one, got to rebuild the motor. That one runs. I guess I could have fired it up to move it out, but there's not much more room left. Cluster back here. All right, this is pretty ridiculous. I don't even want to know how much fuel and diesel, E85 and gas I'm burning right now, but most all of them are on, so that's good for the budget, the gas budget. The RX-8's in the garage. Started pulling the trucks up and then forgot about it. So that one's gonna get left out for this picture, but pretty sick seeing them all out here. Some of them I'd probably let go of. Those two right there. 8.6 in the FB. FC, nope. All right. Gotta get down from here before I hurt myself.